Hello, travelers. Welcome to Reach the World. For over 20 years, Reach the World has used virtual exchange to inspire youth to become curious, confident, and compassionate global citizens. My name is Tim, and I'm glad you're joining us for today's Meet the World live stream event. The Meet the World program builds positive personal connections between students in the US and global cultures, all through direct interactions with real people who are excited to share their countries and cultures with you. For a complete listing of upcoming Meet the World livestream events, you can visit athome.reachtheworld.org. Today, we're exploring Kenya and Kenyan culture with Fulbright foreign language teaching assistant, Elizabeth Mutunga. Elizabeth is from Nairobi, Kenya, and this year she's teaching the Swahili language at the University of Georgia in Athens. She's joining us today to tell us more about her home country and culture. So welcome, Elizabeth. But before I turn things over to Elizabeth, I want to welcome the teachers and students who are watching today's Meet the World live stream event as well. Please feel free to use the YouTube chat bar to let us know you're here, where you're joining from, and of course, to share any questions you have for Elizabeth as we go. You can drop them right in the chat while she's speaking, and we'll bring them all in at the end for some questions and answers with Elizabeth. We'll get to as many as we can in the next 30 minutes, and without any further delay, I think we should go on a journey to Kenya. Elizabeth, welcome to Reach the World.
Okay, welcome you all to Kenya. My name is Elizabeth Mutunga, and I'm currently in Athens, Georgia, teaching Swahili. So today I'm going to take you through the cuisine, language, and African attires in Kenya and everything that you'll need to know about Kenya. So I'll start with a Kenyan flag, and I'll share whatever is on the Kenyan flag. So we have different colors on the Kenyan flag. We have the red, white, black, and green, and they both have different symbols. So from the Kenyan flag, we have red symbolizes the blood. Yeah, here's the flag of Kenya, blood. Then we also have white symbolizes peace, and black symbolizes the black people of Africa in Kenya. And green, this is the environment, the green environment and the vegetation in Kenya. And we also have here the shield and the spears. So this is a sign of defense from mostly it's known from the Maasai community. They usually carry them wherever they're going so that they can defend themselves from any attacking animals because they live by the wild animals. And here's a picture of me also putting on a t-shirt with the Kenyan flag. So Kenya is well represented by Elizabeth. Then after that, you move on to the Kenyan cuisine. The main food in Kenya is known as ugali, and ugali is also known as sima in Swahili, ngima in Kikuyu, obusuma in Luya. So ugali basically is a mixture of maize flour mixed with water. So the water should boil first, then you keep on adding flour until it's firm. So it's firm to this point whereby you can have it with sukuma wiki. Sukuma wiki is the kales. And you can also have it with either avocado and stew, chicken stew. And also this is me eating ugali, chicken and sukuma wiki. So before we move on, I'll share a video of me cooking ugali so that at least you get to see how ugali is cooked. So here is me cooking ugali, and I hope you will enjoy. And when you come to Kenya, make sure you eat ugali. So this boiled water, with a cooking stick and this maize flour. And so that's how we do it. You add flour to the boiling water bit by bit until it's firm. So you keep on stirring and mixing them together until it's firm. So when it gets firm, you'll just we usually know by the smell. You'll smell the burning smell, and you'll know that the ugali is cooked. So when it's firm, you give it some time to cook well, then it should be ready. So how do you know the ugali is ready? Ugali is ready when it's firm, so that we eat with our hands. When you eat with your hand, you have to, the ugali doesn't have to stick in your hand. You just have to use your hand and eat without it sticking. So if it doesn't stick in your hand, that means the ugali is cooked and it's ready. So that's my ugali, and it's very firm and ready to eat. So, and that's ugali. So now we can move on to something else. And from the picture that I shared before, you can see me eating ugali with my hand. So that is the main culture in Kenya. You have to eat your ugali with your hands. So if you see someone eating ugali with a fork or spoon, you know, maybe this person is not from Kenya, or maybe they're also trying to embrace the modern culture. So this is me eating ugali with my hand. Then after that, we have another main meal known as nyama choma. For those who have been to Kenya, this is the basically meat that is it's just roasted. So what you need is just add salt or pepper and you roast it. Then you can have it with a sukuma wiki and kachumbari. This is kachumbari salad and ugali. So that's basically the main dish that most of the people love it. And also tourists come to Kenya to have this. When in Kenya, make sure you eat ugali and nyama choma. Another thing is fish. So there's a way we usually have fish. There's a traditional way. You can decide to have it as a stew, but we usually have it as a you just fry it, deep fry it in the oil. Then you can have it with sukuma wiki. Sukuma wiki is the kale, and kachumbari. So why do we have most of the meal is accompanied with a sukuma wiki? Sukuma wiki is the most affordable vegetable in Kenya, and from the word sukuma wiki, sukuma means push, wiki means week. So anyone can really afford that because it can help you, it can keep you pushing the week, even if you have that little amount of money. So that's why it's called sukuma wiki. Anyone can afford it. Then we move on to pilau. So this is also another meal that is also known for the Swahili people. And also it's basically prepared during most of the festive or ceremonies or occasions. And it's prepared by having spice together with meat and rice. So once it's cooked, you can have it with a kachumbari or also stew, depending on whatever stew you like. So pilau must be brown. If it's not brown, if it's white, that is not pilau. And what makes pilau brown? The spices. So it's cooked with a lot of spices to give it the golden or the brownish color. And you can cook it with either beef or chicken to bring out that sweetness. Another thing is chapati. Chapati is a flat layered kind of bread. It's also soft. It's prepared by mixing wheat flour with either oil, sugar, or salt. Then you have to make a dough. Then you can make the shape from the dough. And that's how we prepare chapati. You can have it with stew or vegetable, depending on what really you want. And another thing is mokimo. Mokimo now, this is known for the Kikuyu community. That's the main food. I'm from the Kikuyu community, and we usually have mokimo during occasions, or anytime you feel like eating mokimo, you can have them. And it's prepared by mixing potato, green peas, maize, pumpkin leaves, and you mash them together. So that's what bring out this. This is mokimo. Then you can have it with beef stew or chicken. Then you can have it with a salad or vegetable, depending on how you want it. Another main food, anyone who comes in Kenya will love this. This also from the Kikuyu community. It's called githeri. It's prepared by cooking maize and beans together. Then once they are cooked, you can use spices or you can mix them with the potato, and they go together with avocado or vegetables. So that is githeri, and I love githeri so much because I'm from Kikuyu community, but anyone in Kenya eats this. Last but not least, we have mandazi. They're also called mahamri. These also are known from the Swahili people. They prepare it by mixing milk coconut, eggs, sugar, and cardamom or other spices to bring out that taste. And the dough is usually deep fried in the oil. And also you have to make sure you have that triangular shape, or you can also have the circular shape depending on what you want best. So these are eaten as snacks or probably for breakfast with tea, and you can eat as much as possible. If let's say if you have them there with you, you can keep on eating because you can't get enough of them. They're so sweet. Another thing is samosa. We also call them sambusa. They're also triangular shaped pastries which are filled with minced meat and spices. So once you make the triangular shape, you mix the meat and spices, and then you deep fry in the oil, just like mandazi. And you can also have them as snack, or you can have them maybe for lunch with maybe French fries. And lastly, we have mutura. Anyone from Kenya who sees this, I know they'll be laughing and all that because mutura is known for, they're usually found in the downtown, along the streets. They are also eaten as appetizers. They're made from cooked blood and meat. Then the meat they're being fixed in the intestine. So you have to clean the intestine first, then you have to stuff the intestine with the cooked meat and blood. Then we prepare them as a nyama choma. We just roast them or grill them. Then once they turn brown or golden brown, that means they are ready. And this is the end product. So you have to chop them into small pieces and you eat with kachumbari. So you can eat as much as possible because they're so sweet, they're nice, and you can't get enough of them because you can't eat this for supper or dinner. You have to eat this as an appetizer, and then you have the main meal. So we move on to the languages in Kenya. So Kenya is known for Swahili, and Swahili is the main language in Kenya. Then we also have English. So Swahili and English are the official languages in Kenya, but we also have other languages, more than 42. And these languages are also, we also have the 47 regions in Kenya, which comprises of now all the languages. And the major languages in Kenya, we have the Waswahili, who are the originators of Swahili language. And Swahili originated from the Arabs because back in the days, they were the main traders in the coastal region of Kenya. So we have most of the words which are very common with the Arabs. So that's how Swahili came to Kenya. Then we have Kikuyu. So Kikuyu are the largest population in Kenya because these are business-minded people. You'll find them everywhere in Kenya, and their main aim is business. So we also have Maasai. They're also known in Kenya. We have Luo, we have Kamba, Kalenjins, and Luya, and many others. So in Kenya, we have the basic words that anyone who comes in Kenya at least should know them. And once you know this kind of words, at least you should be able to express yourself, because when you tell someone jambo, you're greeting them, you're telling them hello. Then habari gani is how are you? Mzuri sana means very fine. Kwaheri means goodbye. So if you tell someone kwaheri, you're telling them goodbye. Asanti is thank you, and hakuna matata is no worries. So these are the basic words, and I'll just play a song that comprises of these words. And most of the foreigners or tourists who come to Kenya, they usually know, like, they usually sing this song, and thereafter they get to understand the meaning of these words. And anyone who comes in Kenya, you'll hear them singing the song. And here is the song. So it goes by Jambo, and from the words that we've just learned, it starts with Jambo. So here's the song. Yeah, so that's the main song in Kenya, and this song was sung to welcome the tourists in Kenya, because as you can see, we have so many tourist attractions, the wildlife. So tourists are being welcomed to Kenya with this kind of song, so that they get to explore more in Kenya. Then I'll move on to the attires, because we have in Kenya we have different communities with different attires, and you can easily identify someone from Kenya with the kind of dress they're putting on. So how do you know this and this is from Maasai community, or is from Kikuyu or Luo or Turkana? How do you know that? By the mode of dressing. So the first thing is in Kenya we have like the national attire, and the national attire was being is from the Maasai community. So Maasai community, they usually have a specific attire, and they have the red Maasai shuka. We call them Maasai shuka, and as you can see, it has the reddish in it, and it has the white and black to symbolize the colors of the flag of Kenya. So these are the first picture is the Maasai men. So they usually put the Maasai shuka. They cover the bottom part, and they also tie it on one shoulder. They also put on the neck piece or the chain, and also they usually have the headgear on their head. For women also, they usually have a lot of beads and or neck pieces on their neck, and also this, they call it the crown. So these are the Maasai woman, and these are Maasai women. And men, as you can see, they're also putting on specific type of shoes, and the shoes are made from tires, so they're called akala, and female put on Maasai sandals. So this is a picture of me also. As you can see, I have the Maasai shuka on. I have the neck piece with beads. I also have the African earring. I also have the headgear. So that's a clear representation of the Maasai culture. And anyone can put on this, not necessarily the Maasai, but anyone now is putting it on, is in the fashion trend, and it's also promoted the Kenyan trend. Also, we have, these are just pictures of most of the accessories. We have the African earrings, we have the bangles, like as you can see, I also have them here. You can decide to put them as many as possible. We also have different type of neck piece. You can have them as long as possible. We have these also a neck piece. Then we have the Maasai sandals for women, And also now these are the akala for men. And now these are now the modern ones. These are for the past days, but these are the modern ones. And this is a picture of me putting on the Maasai neck piece, the bangles here, and the Maasai sandals. So these anyone can put on, and it's just a clear representation of an African woman or an African man from Kenya. So another thing is kitenge. Kitenge also is also in the current fashion trend in Kenya, but it's also used to symbolize the African or the tradition of Kenya or Africa. So we have the kitenge. It's a piece of cloth that has either the African print, and we also call it Ankara. You can, as a ladies, use the African piece to tie on their head as headgears. You can have a mask of the African piece or the kitenge. You can have your handbag. So once you carry that, someone will just know this is from Africa, either Kenya or one of the countries. Then you can also have it on your shoes. You can have a piece of the African print on your shoes. So this for ladies and this for men. And so this is also a kid with a kitenge jumpsuit with a Maasai sandal. And we also have the African print on the jumper. You can decide to have a patch of it on your jumper or maybe your t-shirt, depending on how you want it. So this is also fashion in Kenya, but it's also cultural. We usually put on these when attending maybe ceremonies or maybe special occasions or holidays. Then for ladies, they usually have kitenge dresses. You can decide on how you want it to be. We have also, this can be used for during weddings, and you can also, as a couple, you can also match. And for men can also have the blazer and the bow tie. And this is me also in a kitenge dress. Yeah, so that's an African lady there. And Kikuyu attire, I'm from the Kikuyu community. The Kikuyu are also associated with the brown colors. No, Maasai are associated with the red, and this is the red. But the Kikuyu community are associated with brown. So everything in these pictures are brown. So this is me. So this is me. I'm putting on the brown shuka, the piece of cloth. You just tie it here with a lot of beads and bangles and also the earrings. And a Kikuyu woman is also associated with carrying a kiondo. So that's me carrying a kiondo. And kiondo is this type of bag whereby women in a Kikuyu community usually carry them from their back like this. So that's me carrying a kiondo in that picture. And the next picture, these are just Kikuyu ladies with the Kikuyu attires. And the next picture, whenever there are ceremonies and they have to dance, they have to put on the brown attire with the beads. So the Kikuyu weddings, this is how they have to dress. And in this picture, there was a ceremony, and the white was a part of it, and she had to put it on. So when in Kenya and you have to attend a Kikuyu ceremony or anything, you have to put on this to symbolize the Kikuyu culture. And this is a bag also, it's called kiondo. The one that I'm carrying it here, this one is the kiondo. It's also part of the Kikuyu culture, and it's also part of the trend, the fashion trend. So you can see everyone in Kenya carrying them. So it's a symbol of culture, and also it's part of the local trend. The next thing is the dera. This is also associated with the Swahili people from the coast and also the Muslim people in Kenya. So the dera, these are just a straight kind of dress, and they cover most of part of the body, and we have different types. You can decide to have a belt or just put it on like that. And this picture is me putting on dera to symbolize the Swahili people. And you can also have to, you can tie, like you can have a piece of cloth on your head to cover your head. And this picture also, I'm putting on the Maasai shoes. So that's a real Kenyan woman. This picture also, this is my friend. We were participating in a cultural festive in Ethiopia. So we had to put on the cultural attires to represent Kenya. So at least Kenya was well represented. So this kitenge my friend is putting on, from the head, the bow tie and the skirt. This also me, as you can see, the attires are there, the bangles, neck piece and earring, and this is dera. For men, they put on kanzu. So the kanzu is associated with the Muslim people or people from the Swahili region. Then lastly, we have the Turkana people. They are found also in the northern part of Kenya. So they also for ladies, they cover the upper part of their body with piece of cloth or maybe animal skin, and they put on a lot of beads and neck pieces on their neck. That's a sign of beauty, a beautiful woman. And also the kind of earrings they have is unique. So the Turkana people also, they have a unique hairstyle. So it's called mohawk. They cut the sides and they leave this part. It's called mohawk. So from the two pictures, these are Turkana ladies. And for men, they just cover the bottom part. So they don't have to cover the upper part. And that's all about the Kenyan attires. We have so many communities with different attires, but these now are the major ones. So that I had to at least share with you. And that's all. Thank you so much for your time. Any question?
Let me unmute myself. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. That is fascinating. And I'm going to bring us next to each other here so we can see each other. Hello. That's fascinating. I mean, I think it's really interesting that there are so many different unique communities within the one country of Kenya that, and there's a lot of sort of sharing of culture between the communities. Do you find that people of different communities regularly wear clothing items that are associated with different communities? You touched on that a little bit.
In Kenya, most of the people, we usually put on their specific attires on a special occasion that is related to that community. But if it's just like a countrywide event, anyone can put on anything. So I'm from Kikuyu community, but you'll find me putting on the Maasai shuka, like the one that I'm having on. You'll find me having these beads, but these are not from my community. You'll find me having this. I have lots of them. So depending on the occasion, you choose what you want to put on. But if it's a specific occasion, like for example, the one that I'm putting on the brown piece of cloth, now you have to put on the specifics. So depending with the event or depending with the occasion, it doesn't matter. It depends with the event. So you're the one to choose.
Okay, yeah. Passing along another question. If does each community have their own special celebrations or special events, or are there national holidays that everyone in the country sort of puts on special clothes or participates in together?
For communities, we usually have our own celebrations, not for like for countrywide or national wide, but it's just the community itself. So if there's a event, maybe if it's a wedding, or maybe for Kikuyu, if there's a wedding, we call it rorashio, we have to put on the brown shuka, the brown cloth. For Luya community, if it's a circumcision ceremony, they also have their own way of putting on those kind of feathers on their head and the part of the bodies. So depending on the community, they'll do it, but it's not a countrywide thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
You clearly speak two languages that I know of. Is there also, you mentioned there's also a Kikuyu language itself, or dialect, or
Yes.
both?
Yes. So Kikuyu is also a community. So I speak Kikuyu language, and I also represent the Kikuyu language. So I speak Swahili and English; those are the official languages. And now I have my mother tongue, that's the Kikuyu. So that's what I speak.
Can you give us an example? You told us that, for example, hello in Swahili was jambo. What would hello in Kikuyu be?
In Kikuyu, it's ohoro waku.
Ahoro aku.
Yes, ohoro waku, like how are you?
Okay.
Then from the attires that I was talking about, I talked about the bag. So kiondo is a Kikuyu word. So when you refer to kiondo, it's a bag, but not just any bag, but it refers to this Kikuyu bag, the specific one.
Okay, great. Thanks for showing us that. I know that you live in Kenya. When you're in Kenya, you live in Nairobi, big city, capital city of the whole country. Many students in the United States might know Kenya better for the wildlife that exists in some parts of the rest of the country. I'm curious, how much of the country is urban cities, and how much is national parks and sort of less dense rural areas?
Okay, in Nairobi we have the national park. We have the Nairobi National Park, so that's within Nairobi. But other parks are also out of Nairobi. We have Masai Mara, so you have to go out of town. But now within Nairobi we also have different towns, the small towns. So Nairobi is just a big city, but we also have different towns.
Okay, how many people approximately live in Nairobi?
There's a huge number in Nairobi because now it's the capital city of Kenya. We have different cities, but Nairobi now has the highest number of people, and people get, like, the number of people increase day by day. People are moving into Nairobi every day. So
Okay.
it's a huge number.
And when you're in Georgia like you are now, but when you're in Nairobi, what is your average day like? What would a typical day be like in Nairobi for you?
In Nairobi, so of course it's a busy day because it's a busy town. So depending on what I do, so of course go to work, come back, and of course prepare the African meal. It's always a busy day, and like in Athens at least, we get time. You go to school, you interact with students, you get back to your room, you also interact with students online. So the technology and the media design is also better in Athens compared to Nairobi because of connection and all that.
Okay.
So I get time to interact with my students.
And are you also a teacher in Kenya?
Yes, I'm a teacher of English.
Okay, very good. You showed us that great video of you making ugali. Is ugali something you eat with every meal?
Ugali, I said ugali must be eaten with a sukuma wiki, that is the green vegetable, the kales, and also with stew, either beef, chicken, pork, any stew. So you don't just eat ugali with rice, because now ugali, it's that firm, so and you need to eat with something soft. So it should be either vegetables, fried eggs, or maybe stew, beef stew.
That all sounds really good.
Yeah, so that's the main food in Kenya, because you'll find out that most of the people eat ugali like maybe daily or maybe most of the time. Yeah, maybe for dinner or maybe lunch.
What's the big meal of the day in Nairobi in Kenya? Most people in the United States make dinner their big meal of the day? Is that also the case in Kenya?
Like the big meal in Kenya for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Now
Is dinner a larger meal than lunch?
yes. Now in Kenya at lunchtime you can just have the light meal. You can have rice. You can have any samosa. But dinner now we have to have something heavy, and that's or maybe mokimo or githeri. So at least you need to have something heavy. So mostly we sleep late night. So we have dinner at around 8 or 10 p.m. And that's totally different from here because I take my breakfast in the morning, and by 7 I'll have my late lunch at around 4, and that's it. I'll eat the next day. I don't know why. So that's
great. What has been your favorite thing about living and teaching in Georgia so far?
Okay, living and teaching in Georgia is it's something that it's so motivating to me because I get to interact with these different kind of students who are also ready to learn Swahili. It's so interesting. They're ready to learn Swahili, and it's also interesting to teach a foreign language to students who are very. It's so motivating. So I also get to learn from them because we have differences in terms of skin color. We have differences in terms of accents. So I'm also trying to learn the American accent. So
Okay.
that's a good thing. Also share my culture.
Have you learned any new English words while you've been here? Any local or just really American sort of special words?
Just the pronunciation of words, like for me, I'll say Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
But every time I say that, my friends will be like, "It's not Atlanta, it's Atlanta." I don't know, something like that. I'm trying to. I'm really working on my pronunciation.
Absolutely. Well, it's something everybody who's learning a language other than what they're used to or what they speak on a normal basis is dealing with, and it's part of the fun. Well, Elizabeth, I want to thank you so much for participating today. I personally have learned so much about Kenya, about the different communities within Kenya. Especially interesting, I think, was the different sorts of attires and styles of dress amongst the different communities. So I want to say asante, try out my new Swahili word.
Asante sana.
Thank you so much for joining Reach the World today. Thank you also to our entire live stream audience for going on this journey with us. Reach the World will be hosting many more Meet the World live stream events over the coming months and throughout the rest of the school year. And you're all invited to virtually travel the world with us. So please visit athome.reachtheworld.org for more information. Thank you again, and we'll see you next time. Bye, Elizabeth. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you so much for your time. See you later.